Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Coach Fury here and we're back today with our Michigan Let's Play of Draft Day Sports College Basketball 21 in the online multiplayer league of the CBGM. Well, my goodness me, what an interesting sim it has been, and we'll dive into that in a minute. But for those of you who've been following along, you'll know we're well into the recruiting stage. We are going and doing the in-home pitches to the various players to see whether we can get them to join our Michigan program. And well, we had one sim a couple of episodes ago where we had a fantastic sim and brought in none other than 5-star Garrett Berry, the centre that we really wanted. And well, let's have a look and see how the two other scholarship offers we put out there, how that happened and how that materialised just now. So, as you can see from the email here, we have Robert Samuel, who was the Indy MVP, so arguably probably the best prospect in my opinion in this high school recruiting period. Let's see what happened. So he decided to go to Xavier. As you guys will know from looking at him, he was a person who was interested in prestige more than anything else, but he was a Michigan native, and I was really hoping that would mean that we might have a shot at him. We were number one on his books for a long period of time, but Xavier came in and basically snagged him away from us, which is probably the one that I'm most disappointed about. I think out of all of the players, Robert Samuel was the one that I wanted the most. I just thought he was just going to be this phenomenal player. Looking at him, I mean, we can guess what his pro prospects are going to be like, but looking at his initial grade ratings, he looked like he could be an absolutely phenomenal power forward in both college and in the pro league. So it's a bit of a pill to take, but that's the gamble you take when you chase 5-star prospects, is that you are going to get big programs like Xavier interested in them and sniffing around. So the other guy that we looked at was Derek Womack. So Derek Womack was the point guard that we were trying to get. And well, I didn't think we would get him, and it turns out that we didn't. He's gone to Notre Dame. Probably expected. He was a location/player guy who was interested in playing time. We tried to pitch the location and the playing time, but unfortunately it didn't materialize for us. So it means that we are basically looking at 2 other scholarship players, and I've gone ahead and made the offers for 2 other players that I'm interested in, and I'll talk you through why I'm interested in them. And we'll probably have to give them a call, and we'll do their pitches as we've done for the past couple of episodes on the video here. So 2 3-star prospects, that's kind of what we're looking at. A lot of the 4-star prospects have pretty much gone now, and to be honest with you, the national 4-star prospects I don't have a hope in hell's chance of getting, because I just have no information about them and I wouldn't be comfortable with taking them. So we have 2 guys. First one is probably the one that we need the most, and that is JJ Robertson, who is from Havana in Illinois, and I'm interested to try and get him into the program. As I've said past several episodes, we just need a point guard who is actually decent, and I feel Robertson could be that guy. I have some hesitations around him in terms of his skill ratings. You know, he's not the best defender. He's a good shooter. His ball handling and passing is kind of at the level I'd want it to be in terms of the grades, but you know, he's not the point guard who's going to do everything. I like the fact he's got a good scoring and athleticism as well, and I think that's going to be a good factor. His numbers he puts up in high school, to me, indicate that he's more of a point forward, sort of a point scoring point guard rather than an actual ball distributor. But to be honest with you, any point guard who can handle and pass is just an improvement on what we've got, who can actually play a bit of defense. So we're going to go after him. At the moment, in terms of why I like him, he is a top 10 player from the Chicago Prep, which to me indicates that he is going to be more ready now than some of the other 3-star prospects that we could be looking at this stage. So I'm pretty happy with where things are. The parent control is a little bit lower, which is nice, and from the notes here we can see here that his parents, you know, whilst they felt we weren't the right school, the parent control is low enough. I feel we can go for that. We're going to probably give him another call and just confirm that location is his main driving factor in a moment, and then we will certainly be visiting him, pitching at him, and trying to bring him in. So the other guy that I've picked up and I'm interested in is Eric Watkins. So on the face of it, Eric Watkins looks like a player who probably should be nowhere near a Michigan program, But there's a couple of things here that really interest me. One is that he's 6'7", 218 pounds. He can play, in my opinion, anywhere from sort of small forward to power forward in the college game. He has a nice balance of inside and outside shooting, good passing, athleticism's okay, rebounding's good, which means I think he can play power forward as well. So he addresses that issue where we were sort of trying to bring Samuel in. Obviously, I don't think Watkins will be a starter for us. But again, he was a top 10 player at Chicago Prep. Again, which to me indicates that he's going to be a good player coming in off the bat. He's going to be ready now to play, which is kind of what I want. I want guys who are, especially if we're targeting 3-star players who are going to be 4-year players for us. I want guys who are going to be here for the 4 years and be ready to play for all 4. I don't want to be redshirting any of these guys if I can help it. So the only downside is that his defense is a D+, which means that for me, I feel if that is the case, Watkins is probably going to be a guy who's really going to be a rotation piece more than a starter. But that's okay. I kind of live with that because we've got guys who play good defense who I can kind of plug in there. So we're going to obviously be giving him another call, and we are ranked number 1 on his top 10 schools at the moment. So I'm confident we can get both of these guys, considering we are, the number 1 on both of them as well. So that is kind of how we fit. It may look a bit odd because when we look at national overall, we're looking at players in the 300 range. But I'm confident based on their camp performances and based on what I'm seeing that they'll be able to add something to this program. I mean, if you remember from last year, I believe, I think someone like Colin Brown was fairly low in terms of his actual performance, and he's come in. I'm comfortable where he is. He's got good potential and good ratings, so I'm comfortable with that. Same with Peter Graves. I think he was quite a low-ranked recruit in the end, and we managed to snag him. So we're going to go ahead and get these calls done. So first up, we're going to do Robertson, the point guard. I want to check the location is definitely his main interest. So we will be calling him and just double checking that. So pitch areas, and we're going to be asking about location. It's very important. What about playing time? I think that was his second factor. Not a big concern. Discipline, there's only one thing he's considering. Okay, so I think it's fair to say that Robertson's main thing, we need to check conference prestige. Let's see if we can check that as well. Very important to me. Okay, so we're going to have to take a bit of a punt on which one it is. I think we will probably, let's have a look at the notes here. Let's just double check. Is his top concern? So I think we will go with playing close to home and location for him. So your pitch is going to be location, and we'll see if we can get him over the line next sim. So Eric Watkins, at the moment it's location, academics and facilities are kind of the main factor. So let's give him a call, and we're going to ask about location. Okay, we'll try again. Okay, that's not very helpful. It's going to factor. Discipline was another one. Okay, never mind. Let's try and text him on the location front then and see if we can get the job done that way. So we'll text him. Okay, that's just not very helpful. Let's check. So in terms of what we've got here in terms of his notes though, the playing is close to home is very important for him. I think we will pitch location again to Watkins as well. So that's our 2 visits done for this one. So realistically, if we think about next year, we are going to be in a situation, I don't know why that's disappeared. We're going to be in a situation where we're basically replacing sweet wine with I can't remember his name now. Oh my goodness. With Berry. We're going to be replacing sweet wine with Berry, which I think is a fairly good replacement. We still have Graves, who is a good centre, and we'll also still, hopefully, providing that he doesn't declare, we'll still have Belair, who is an awesome prospect as well. So we can hopefully use those 3 all together as sort of a rotation as such. If any of those, I don't think Graves will declare. Sweet wine will obviously go. Belair's, I don't think will declare, is my hunch. If he does declare, then we'll probably have to lean a lot on Sean Singletary to kind of bail us out here. But if that does happen, we obviously have a transfer process that we could consider. But again, they won't come in for another year. So we'll be a little bit light if we have more than 2 guys declare in the front court. But we can always rotate guys in there. And I think hopefully if we can get Watkins in with his rebounding ability, I think he can kind of fill a bit of a gap for us there if that does happen and that situation does materialise. So in terms of other aspects, we do have obviously quite a lot of small forwards and wings on the rotation at the minute. In terms of, we have the likes of Nick Campbell still around, who's actually got some better potential than he did have. Chris Buchanan's still around. So we still have some good wing prospects. Iacona's obviously going to go. We'll hopefully be able to replace him with what we've already got in terms of Colin Brown and Jojo Geeson, who are pretty good prospects in my opinion now. The gaps we will have clearly is around point guard. So obviously whoever we recruit in that point guard will have to play next season. So again, hopeful that JJ Robertson can kind of come in and fill that gap for us. If not, then I'm probably going to be leaning on Colin Brown next year to probably fill that void for us, because I'm not convinced that maybe the likes of Shelton with his terrible, well, actually his defense ability is not too bad. Maybe Shelton can play some minutes there if he continues to develop like that. But likes of Seymour and Jared Rush, the walk-on, are not going to be able to do that for us. So that's kind of where we are at the minute in terms of this recruiting class. We are taking a bit of a punt in terms of the two guys that we're looking to bring in now, 2 3-star guys. I'm confident we can probably get both, and that will address some of our needs. But we'll certainly see how it goes next time. What do you guys think? Do you think that Watkins and the likes of Robertson are the right fit for us? Are we maybe going too low in casting our net? I mean, these are guys who are rated number 300 and below for a top program like Michigan. Maybe that's too low, but that's what I've looked at, and I think that's probably our best option to kind of secure someone who can kind of come in and play a role for us next year. But as always, chuck your comments down, hit that subscribe and like button, and we will see what happens next time with the recruiting phase.